What's up, everybody? This your girl, Lady E, checking in with Enters the Lab. We are on tonight, but most importantly, guess what? It's football on our screen tonight. So we got the first 3 preseason games popping off. I know the Colts and the Ravens are going down tonight. But we do have a quick little pack show to get y'all caught up on any NFL news that you mean. So come sit down and chill with us while them games playing. All right, what's up, C him? What's up, J Mick? What are y'all doing? Well, besides watching football on the slide, but how y'all been? How y'all week? How y'all teams? Everything been so far?
Oh man, just happy to be back. Happy to be back with you another Thursday evening. Yes, football is back, man. Preseason action here, man. I can smell it, man. Only a couple weeks away. So man, I'm just waiting, man. Waiting, just hoping that all my players can stay healthy. Shout out to Ennis Recordstra. I guess we're gonna have to do this one without you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Get well soon, man. Get well soon, man. But yeah, just trying to hang in there, man.
I mean, I'm feeling good myself. I mean, the Patriots had a joint yesterday with the Commanders. I was there live and in person, so I like what I saw. So I mean, I don't really got no complaints on that. And I mean, like my squad plays the Commanders tomorrow, so some of my starters gonna play. So I mean, we're gonna see how long they play. I mean, but for me, it's been a real good week for me. So.
Okay. Same with me. I went to our training camp the other day. Enjoyed myself. Got to see my defense. Got to see what we was looking like, and I'm excited. We got our joint practice next week with the Tennessee Titans, so definitely going to be there so I can go ahead and see Karen Ward in person. Calvin Ridley's coming back to the branch after being gone for so long, so it's going to be a jam-packed week for the Falcons next week. Can't do it. So let's check in. See him really quick. I know for a fact that one of my boys, my good Georgia boy, is on IR. What is the news? Have you guys heard? And if y'all don't know who I'm talking about Dan Jackson, Dirty Dan from the University of Georgia. Was literally rooting for him, but he is on IR. But did they ever say exactly what his injury was?
I think he was dealing with a shoulder injury as well. Again, he had made a pretty good impression from, the spring into the preseason. He was listed as, running with the second string in terms of being a backup safety. And that says a lot, being a 7th round pick. But tough loss. He's going to be on. He was put on season ending IR again. Just like we did, just the same thing what happened to Ennis Recordstra as well. So it's been a tough week up here in the Motown, man. It's been a tough week, man.
I understand. Sending prayers to Dan Jackson. He already know Bulldog Nation was really behind him and rooting for him. So that was just a tough break to hear.
We're waiting to hear the word on your boy Lovett because he also went down with an injury last week. So we wait.
Oh my God!
I'm waiting to hear. You know what I'm saying? The diagnosis on him, man. And we got our fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Rabbit's foots are out. You know what I'm saying? All type of stuff. All the good luck charms are out.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I'm like, it's raining, it's pouring, but that's crazy.
Yeah, that's good. Any injury news from you, J Mick, with the Patriots? Or y'all are continuing to be healthy? Any players that you don't want to see go down?
I mean, most of our major players are cool. I mean, one of the members of our draft class last year, I think he tore ACL like earlier in the week. Like it wasn't during the joint practice. I mean, it was actually during a walkthrough, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, I mean, dude was going to be our 5th or 6th cornerback. So I mean, towards ACL, it's unfortunate. I mean, like some say he was playing good, but from the reports I read, he wasn't really playing that great. But but you don't want to lose guys like that. So I mean, but I think other than that, I mean, we've been pretty healthy. Knock on wood. So I mean, I'm not trying to see no major injuries to. I mean, like especially my offensive line because we are pretty thin. We're the tack on the guard, we're pretty thin. So I mean, hopefully we can stay healthy.
Understandable. Okay. Last thing before we move on to topics, shout out to Tate too. I heard he won that starting position. So shout out to Tate Ratledge going ahead
Yeah,
and kind of locking that up. So yeah, this is a Georgia Bulldog roll call. Okay, I ain't lying.
Okay,
I ain't
okay, yeah, we gonna see what
and
Tate
we
got,
can
man.
also,
I hope Tate do something. We need
yeah,
him in there. We need him in there to do something.
yeah. I mean, I could
Run the
also say
game
that.
quickly.
Jared Wilson going to be the starting left guard for the Patriots too. So I
Oh,
mean,
I didn't know if they called that or not. I wasn't gonna
they
say that.
didn't call it, but he's running. He's been running with the first team for the last 10 to 12 practices. So I mean, it's pretty safe to say that he probably going to be the left guard.
All right. Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I love it. That's good. That is so good. All right. Well, now, and the reason why I started this off talking about Georgia and some of the Georgia Bulldog faithful, we're going to talk about James Cook. That's the first thing. James Cook is actually sitting out. We know he's been trying to get those contract situation worked out probably since last season. Now he's sitting out of practice and everything for that. Now, we know a couple of seasons ago, a lot of the running backs had some issues with trying to get their contract and was fighting for equal pay with that. Do you think this is pretty much kind of like a holdover from that, or do you guys think that James Cook is kind of exaggerating that, especially with his role now with the Bills?
I mean, I think the quarterback actually came. There was a report actually came out earlier today that like Josh Allen really wants him back there. Like I think it came from like Ian. I think Ian Rappaport. I think I'm not sure exactly what national reporter it came from, but like Josh is putting the support. Behind James. James led the league in touchdowns last year. Like he had a really that was the best year of his professional career. And so I think what the issue was he pushing for the 15. I don't think the Bills want to pay him the 15. Kyron with the Rams, he just got paid a couple of days ago. I think he got about 11 or 12 million annual average value. So if I'm James Cook, I'm like, well, Kyron getting 12. I mean, I don't fumble like Kyron be fumbling. So I'm like, I want more than Kyron, and I think he's right. I don't see why. I'm not saying you got to pay him 15, but like I think it should be somewhere between the 12 to 13 range to me. So
I understand.
Very interesting conversation about James Cook because again, coming off a great year, but you got to look at the running back market. It's been somewhat suppressed. I think Kyron Williams getting his deal kind of helps kind of establish a market for him, if you will. That was James Cook's basically his breakout year. The first 2 years he hasn't quite been as productive as he was last year, and again, as productive as he was last year, I still saw a lot of I don't know, was it Ray Davis and Ty Johnson a lot in that backfield. So I don't know if they believe in him enough to make him to pay him in that echelon. Now, with Kyron's deal, I think Kyron has been a little bit more productive than he has. I don't want to say durable because he's had some injuries, but he's just been a little bit more productive than he has. Maybe the number kind of comes down to maybe that 10, 12, $13 million area, maybe add some incentives to possibly get him to that $15 million. But you look at the deal that Kyron signed, you look at the deal that I believe, Ramondre Stevenson signed last year. Yep. Those are kind of, I think, more so in line for what he's probably going to get. And again, I don't know. I know the quarterback wants him there, but how bad does he want him there? Is he willing to say, hey, man, listen, take $2 or $3 of my million and throw him his way? If that's the difference in money, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But again, though, I saw a lot of Ray Davis and a lot of the other guy. I want to say Ty Johnson. If I'm saying the wrong name, forgive me. But a lot of those guys in crucial moments from that Buffalo offense. So do they believe that he is that feature back for them? I don't know.
So one thing that I kind of took from all of this too, and it was like one of the games, I can't remember the game who they were playing with, but James Cook single-handedly helped them win that game. And when the coach gave the game ball to Josh Allen, I kind of was like, wait a minute, that's like a real slap in the face to me, because I'm like, he single-handedly is the main reason why y'all actually run this game as far as that. If he wasn't the elusive type running back that we've known him to be, and like you said, he was the number one running back with the most touchdowns, so that shows you that they're using him in that offense. They're using him the way that he needs to be used. So I do agree with him. Like, how much are they willing to say that he's a factor within that offense? If they feel like, well, we can go get another one and use Ray Davis as the feature back, then what loss is that if you don't want to pay somebody that have shown you they can help win you games?
That's true. That's a good point too. But yeah, I mean, like, as far as a room in Buffalo, I think you got it right. Like it's James Cook, it's Davis, and then you have Todd Johnson. I think Todd Johnson's the primary third down back. Because I think he's their best like blocking back. In terms of like, pass pro or whatever. It's a tough position for James to be in. I mean, like James can lean on. The one good thing about James is Georgia, he didn't get a lot of carries. Like he wasn't our bell cow. So it's like he didn't come into the league like Gurley or some of our other running backs coming out of Georgia where they
like Swift.
Yeah, like Swift. He didn't get those kind of carries. So yeah, I mean, he's like, I believe he's 25 or 26, somewhere in that age range, but he's not your typical 25 or 26-year-old running back. So, I mean, he's getting the carries now, but even now he's sharing the load. So, I mean, like personally, there are certain games last season where he was a major factor. Like that Chiefs game before they stopped putting him in the game. If it's not for James Cook, I think it was like a 4th and goal on the 3-yard line, and the play that he made to get in the end zone. I can't. There might be maybe 3-4 guys in the league that could have did what he did, and that's at most. And so, I mean, like, I just think that they pretty much signed everybody else. They signed a lot of guys this offseason. I mean, they locked up a lot of different guys. I think he's the last guy, so he's looking around the locker room like, you paid them, but you ain't paid me. So,
and I do agree, and that's really not, in my opinion. I mean, nothing ain't fair. I mean, business is business, but if you are that much of a contributor, and even going back, look, James Cook was in a crowded backfield, to be honest with you, because he was sharing stuff with Zamir and rotating, because we were rotating about 3 or 4 running backs a game. And when he came, I mean, again, he doesn't have that much wear and tear. Like you said, he's still sharing the backload. He's single-handedly helping win the games. I'm not understanding. I mean, if it's a dollar amount, sit down and see if y'all can come with a compromise. But if it's just, what have you done for me lately? You can't say that he hasn't done anything to deserve that. So again, we'll
I think
see.
it definitely, and I think it.
Go ahead.
I think it definitely depends on what the number is. You know what I mean? Like if it's 15 right now, only two people are making over $15 million per year, and that's Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley. And I don't think his body of work is anywhere near that. Then you got guys like Jonathan Taylor at 14, Alvin Kamara at 12.3, Josh Jacobs at 12 million, Aaron Jones at 10 million. So to me, 10 to 12 sounds good. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe, sometimes we all overshoot our worth. And and we have to come back to the drawing board and kind of look at, some different numbers. So maybe, they come down a little bit and they get to an agreement.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. Because I don't know what the Bills offense would look like without a competent running back there. So that's some eyes on that one. All right, so let's move over to not the AFC. Lord, we were in the AFC. Let's move over to the NFC, and let's go talk to that NFC West. Stafford is basically having a back injury issue to where he's hoping that an epidural can do it. Now, speaking from a woman's standpoint, I'm not gonna lie, epidurals are not fun. I think I still have back issues from mine. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get stiff and I'm just like, whoa. So no, they're not fun. But trying to play football with a back injury is not recommended either. So what is your guys' thought on this injury? Does this kind of hamper the Rams a little bit because of who they got as far as the backups go? But most importantly, do you think this is it for Stafford?
I mean, I don't think Stafford has that much longer to play anyways. I mean, he's played for a good amount of time. I think at best he's got this season and maybe next. Like after that, I don't really like. He comes into camp for the last couple of years with an issue every year. Like last year was the elbow, this year is the back, and I get it. As you get older, I mean, like the ailments become more and more serious because obviously you're older. It takes you longer to heal or whatnot. but I think it's a big deal because he hasn't done anything. Like he hasn't really been cited at practice, not in pass, he's not throwing, he's not doing anything. And it's like preseason games are coming on for most teams. Their first games are today into Sunday. So for the Rams fans that try to tell you, oh, it's not really a big deal, but as you get deeper in the training camp, deeper into August, closer to the season, and he hasn't thrown, he hasn't played. I mean, if I was a fan, I'd be starting to get. I'm not saying I'd be worried, but I start to get a little nervous a little bit because he's not there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Father Time is undefeated, and he's a gunslinger type quarterback, a little bit statuesque. He's taken some hits, some poundings over the years, and I think these hits are starting to catch up with him. And I think just like J Mick said, it's definitely a big deal because when you look at the Rams team on paper, offensively they're built pretty stoutly. You know what I mean? They got two great receivers. They got Kyron at the running game, decent tight end, solid offensive line. They're kind of going in transition on the defensive side of the ball, but they put together a very, very, very disruptive front four on that defense. A team that really, really got after Philadelphia in the playoffs. So when he's healthy and they're clicking, they're a very dangerous team in the NFC. Now, without him, what happens? I don't know. How long can he hold up in this, during the season? I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo's been looking pretty good in that offense from the clips I've been seeing from them practicing. So, but it's still Jimmy G. So that's a huge, huge factor for the Rams. And, for me, I know he's a veteran player. He's done this so many times. He's playing in virtually the same system that he's been in for the last couple of years. So if he can get in 2 or 3 good weeks of work with no setbacks, I think they'll be okay. But again, how long can he hold up? Again, he likes to stand in that pocket sometimes to the last minute and take those big shots. Can he hold up for the rest of the season? We have to see.
No, I mean, I definitely agree. And since Stafford was a part of your team and you guys drafted him, have you seen like a change from, just because I know age, but was he going through any ailments before when he was in Detroit, or did he have any issues when it came down to coming into training camp before like the season that you kind of notice is still like a pattern with him?
Well, actually, early on in his career, he played behind some bad lines. I'm gonna just shoot him some bail there. But he had a lot of injuries. He injured his thumb one year. He missed some games. He injured his shoulder one year. He missed some games. So early in his career, he kind of got that injury prone tag. Then he went through a kind of a spell where I think he played like 7 or 8 years with no real major injuries. So he kind of got that off of him. Now, again, him being older, he had the thumb issue, I believe, again out there, or something with his hand out there as well. He had the elbow. So he's having these ailments, and he's been at it a long time, man. He's been at it a long time now. So things are starting to catch up with him.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to being in Stafford, like being with Matt Stafford, I do see with everything that's pretty much kind of going on out there, with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know Stetson Bennett is also there. He's third string. So I'm not sure how comfortable they are with Stetson Bennett even going into the season backing up Jimmy G. But I mean, like I said, with them talking about an epidural and trying to hold that, I'll be honest with you, run hit, Stafford's out. With that. So I don't know how much precaution that they're willing to take and how much of a risk that they're willing to gamble with to basically kind of see exactly, how everything is. So that's just kind of what I'm looking at for them. But that's going to be an interesting story going into the season, especially when the first game of the season comes, what they're going to be looking like. So there's that.
And to me, when you look at that division, they were kind of my favorite for that division over there. Now, if he's not able to go early in the season, or if he gets knocked out early in the season, or if he's playing, I don't want to say scared, but cautiously, if you will, that can affect that division, man. Is San Francisco, have they fully reloaded? You know what I mean? Is Arizona ready to take a step up over in that division? Seattle basically had a team that was right there on the brink of the playoffs last year. Is Sam I am Darnold? Is he the answer over there? So that makes things very interesting over there for the NFC West, no doubt.
Oh yeah, very, very, very interesting. So we're gonna see. Matter of fact, well, a team from the NFC West is actually gonna be playing later on tonight with the Seattle Seahawks. So we get to see a first look at them and see what they're looking like. So the next topic that we are going to talk about is the major big topic of them all: Jerry
Hmm.
Jones versus Parsons.
Jerry.
Like, so let's kind of get into it and let's kind of have that conversation and let's try to see exactly what this is going to do. So we know he has asked for a trade because supposedly him and Jerry had a secret handshake on what the contract deal was going to be like, and it looks like secret handshake.
I
Look
don't
like
know.
he
Now
should.
Jerry known the devil and devil. I ain't know he was in no frat. I ain't know he had crossed, son. I ain't know. He gave a secret
Hey,
handshake.
yeah, they got a secret handshake that they went on, and it looks like somebody's agent probably said, no, we are not dealing with that deal. Went back, went to Stephen Jones and said, look, this is what we're gonna do. This is what I want to get paid, and they ain't budging. Jerry thinking, well, I thought
Listen,
we had a deal. He's saying,
listen,
hey,
Jerry
trade.
old man. Jerry having flashbacks to the 90s where he used to have Mike, Mike just come on back to the room. He have a whole little plate of some of that booger sugar for Mike. It wouldn't be no agent. They just work everything out. Him and Nate McMillan. He brings some pounds for Nate McMillan over there. They just work everything on out. You know what I'm saying? He think he back then. You know what I mean? He don't even realize that's Mike in front of him. He think he talking to Michael Irvin, calling him Michael and everything. But yeah,
I'm
it's
just mad that
crazy.
you said the booger sugar. I'm mad you said the booger sugar. I'm mad you said that, but no,
I'm just saying.
Jerry,
They are
Jerry,
jokes, respectfully. They are jokes.
yeah.
But man, this your
But
best player. This all you got going to me defensively. He's done nothing but show up and show out as much as possible. Usually Jerry be, really, for his guys. He will run a couple of them through the ringer. But I don't know what is going on here. It seems like there's some type of dislike here, some distrust. I don't know about no handshake deal. You got to go through the agent, or the agent has to be involved some type of way. Sign off on every paperwork or something. I mean, you have to talk to the agent, some form and fashion. So I don't know what's going on, but if he's really old and senile, maybe he makes a move and trades him. Maybe he puts something together for James Cook or for Breece Hall or for somebody, and a couple little pieces and a couple draft picks, and he try to recreate that Herschel Walker deal. You know what I'm saying? Go his way.
I'm mad that you called him senile.
I
Go
mean,
ahead, J. Mick.
I mean, kind of. He acting like it's 1992 again or something.
There
Like
you go. There you go.
he trying to have informal meetings and writing contracts on napkins and having people sign them like it's 1992. It's 2025. Like like these are grown ass men, but like these athletes don't. Like it doesn't work like that anymore. Like their agent got to negotiate that deal, and that's just that. I mean, Jerry's 80 something years old, man. Like if you still got grandparents alive and they in their 80s, those could be some hard-headed people. I'm just saying. It is what it is. But Micah's gonna get his money. This is gonna be like the CD Lamb and the Dak situation where he's trying to wait as long as possible, closer to the season. And I just think, you could do that and you can get him signed or whatever, but like then you put him in a bad spot to start the season. Like you starting the season, first game of the year on television on Thursday night against the Eagles. They're raising the banner in Philly. So I just like you got the money. It's not like you're like other franchises that are like tight on money or like the money not fluid. You have it. So just get the deal done. And if you don't want to pay the guy, then just trade him. So
and to your point,
go ahead, Cameron.
It seems like for each negotiation, it's gotten a little bit worse from CD from Dak to CD to Micah, and these are the pillars of your team right now. Your best players on your team, the guys who are, I presume, showing up early, staying late, putting in the work, definitely putting in the work on Sunday. What are the other players going to think about? Your organization if they see you treat the stars like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think Stephen Jones needs to take a little bit more of a front seat in this organization. I know he's making more decisions per se from a GM standpoint, but I think he needs to be a little bit more of the front man and get in front of the mic a little bit more, because I don't know if this is the best representation for the organization on a daily basis. We seeing them daily saying something crazy.
I mean, like he said, like I said, that's where that handshake comment came from. He said, like, when he bought the Cowboys, all he did, it took 30 seconds, shook the hand, and then there he goes. So that's how he's looking at it. I mean, Jerry is one of those hard-nosed businessmen that literally would try to make it any way in any kind of way about him, but make sure that he gets what he wants. Like, I like when Steven did step in and kind of brought him back down to reality a little bit. But even then, Steven was the reason why Dak's contract got done. Steven was the reason why CeeDee Lamb's contract got done. I mean, he's going to make sure that this contract gets done, because if they lose a pillar piece to that defense, it's going to be hard to try to do that, because the Cowboys like to win. Jerry does not like to lose. And yeah, can they, find another weapon, another piece within the draft? But that's saying a lot. There's nobody that's going to be on his level. So you're taking the gamble and you're taking the risk. And again, he already said he wanted to retire a Cowboy, even though I don't like when players say that, because Julio, some things don't go your way and you don't retire as your team, as you claim for your team. So I mean, at the end of the day, we have seen this. I don't know how true this is, but I know some people basically have literally said that Jerry regrets, giving Dak that contract. So how long are we going to say he's going to say the same thing for CD? Then he's going to say the same thing for Micah. Like, what can we? When is Jerry going to do it? And I promise you, Jerry's not going to.
We'll trade him then, Jerry. Shit.
Jerry ain't gonna do it. But I'll be honest with you, I would not want to. If I was
Jerry,
no,
one of them. Get another one, Jerry. Make another hole, Jerry.
I mean, the thing about Jerry though, like, he's not gonna do something he don't want to do. Like, you're not gonna make him do anything he don't want to do. And if he don't want to pay you, he ain't gonna pay you. And he'll wait as long as he wants. It's just like he don't care about the money. Like, it's for him, it's principle more than anything. So
exactly. And then the thing is, I would not want to be no team or no owner trying to trade with the Cowboys, because they will sit over here and ask for $1 million yachts before they sit over here and let that man go. They just gonna let him suffer. Like, at that point, I'm not. It's a sad case, but that's just, everybody should know that's how the Cowboys organization is. I know fans are kind of, some fans are kind of worried. Some fans are like, oh, he's going to get paid, he's not going to get traded. But again, we'll see as the season goes on if there's a contract. Right now, I don't think that we will get that information before the beginning of the season. But all I know is, we're good. So
I guess the question is, does he play before he gets a contract?
Nah, I mean, and I heard a report today that he didn't even show up today at all. He wasn't holding in. He just ain't show up. So,
Jerry made Emmett, sit out a couple of games too before he got a deal. So maybe, he sit out a couple of games, they lose a couple of games, he'll change his tune.
Yeah, but you're taking a risk. Like, I mean, even with going back to the James Cook thing, to the Micah thing, like, if these guys sit out a couple games and their side of the football looks terrible, you're just giving them more leverage. That's all you're really doing. So.
This is true. It's just all you're doing is making it worse for yourself, to be honest, at the end of the day.
Because I think the same thing happened with the Chiefs when they played against the Lions, like opening night when they were hanging up their banner. And I mean, Chris Jones said, he didn't play the first game, and their defense didn't look the same, and he got paid that very next week.
Wait, hold on.
Didn't
he leave? Didn't he leave? And they basically got him back too?
Yeah, I mean, because I think the situation I'm talking about, so like they adjusted his contract for that year.
Yeah.
And then the next off season, he was a free agent. He's about to become a free agent. They weren't going to tag him, and then right before free agency started, they paid him. So he never got to the free agency market. So
okay.
But
I was like, yeah, but I mean, hey, they need him as we can see. He's a pillar on that defense for him. So definitely. Jerry just need to take a page out of a lot of people's books. Stop playing hardball with these people, man. Stop doing that. Like you said, it ain't 92. You can't just sit there and shake on it and be like, "This is what we agreed on."
Gonna take more than yayo.
It is. So I know we talked about last week, and I know we're not going to harp on these two a little bit, but Terry, Trey, with their situation going on right now too, as well. Like I said, this is one of those. This is one of those off seasons right before the season, where you're seeing a lot of players sit out. You're seeing them request things. One thing, do you think Trey with the Bengals? Do you think that he'll probably sit out because there's been a couple of people before he got his paper that have been signed before him? So do you think that he's looking to possibly? I know he showed up to practice because he was tired of getting the $50,000 fines, but do you think that he will not, enter a game or actually play at the start of the season?
I don't know. Did he showed up at camp? Didn't he leave? Did he leave again though? Did he?
I mean, he went at the joint practice on Wednesday. I can tell you that.
Yeah, look like we starting the 50,000 all over again.
I didn't know if he left again. I didn't know, but you know what, man? I want to pay Trey. I wish I could pay Trey. I wish we could pay Trey. You know what I'm saying? He's a big piece. But I'm gonna tell you though, they're paying the quarterback. They're paying T. They're paying Jamar. I mean, it sounds like possibly they could pay him, but then at that point, then you probably playing with pretty much everybody, as second tier players. So I don't know. But again, though, when you look at a Micah, when you look at a Trey Hendrickson, what they would demand from their contract and the compensation per se that it would take for someone to get them, is it too late in the game for someone to make a serious move for them? I don't know. But do you play? Do you? I don't know if he has guaranteed money left on his deal. I don't know if there's something that can be worked out in that case where they can possibly guarantee his deal fully and maybe get him, $5 to $10 million extra, and or maybe some incentives that can possibly get him for this year at a number where he feels reasonable enough to play. I don't know, man. And again, we're seeing where the my value, how I see myself versus, how you see me, there's that huge gap, even with Terry. So it's interesting to see how these things are going to play out. Normally, teams and players meet somewhere in the middle, especially when teams want to, when both of them want to be aligned in terms of playing. The player wants to stay where he, in the city that he's playing in. So we just got to kind of see how it goes. But Trey may be tired and maybe, something, works out his way. Terry, maybe he feels ultimately disrespected and the numbers are so far apart that they're not going to, get close, and he may have to seek greener pastures somewhere else. I think one of our next questions, I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun a little bit, was, who was the most tradable out of these guys? I think Micah and Trey are the toughest to move. I think currently when you look at the climate for what Terry is owed and what Cook is owed, you look at those positions, it'd be tough to, fill those positions for those teams, prospective teams making the trade this year. But in, going forward in terms of draft and free agency, those are two positions that really are, have a surplus of players, if you will, are easily replaced. I can see, those guys being moved if it came to a, that situation that we can't do business no more. We've reached the impasse. I need to go out and seek greener pastures.
Yeah, J-Mick?
I mean, like, to me, like the trade, like Trey Henderson, there hasn't really been no movement. Like, and the problem with him is the owner that they got over there, like, he's not going to trade you, bro. Like, that's not something that the Browns owner, not the Browns, like the Bengals owner does. Like, he had Carson Palmer retiring. Like, he made that man retire before he decided to trade. Like, so that guy not going to lose no, like, contract battles or nothing like that. So, to me, for him, the trade, he probably not going to get traded. He probably not going to get paid, and his money is not guaranteed. So, you're in a tough position, man. I'm not sure what to tell you. Now the Terry front, I think a report came out today saying that the Commanders only want to pay him 23. We all know he want more than 23. He want that DK range. He want that 30 to 33. And we ain't even talking about this to guarantee money. Like, he's about $7 million, annual average value from where he want to be. And so I think it's a better shot that Terry get traded, because, like, if you're that far apart and both sides don't want to concede, to me, he's more likely to get traded. Like, I just don't, like like I said earlier, the trade thing, he's not getting traded. Like, he's gonna have to play. They have to either give him a contract or I mean, he's just gonna have to play. So.
And shout out to my commander people, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My cousins in laws and them, you know what I'm saying?
They are
they are going through it right now, to be honest.
But you know what though? You know what? I'm torn because I feel like, I mean, he was already making 23, so it's hard for me to think that you want to pay him exactly what, you know what I'm saying, he's been getting. That's number one. That's hard to believe. You know, if you say you want to pay him, you know, $3 to $6 million more, maybe that's, to me, that's a little bit more believable, that 26, 28, 29 range. I've always felt like that T. Higgins money was probably the most comfortable money. But again, though, if they're that far off in AAV, how far off in the guarantees too, though? Because again, I'm one to think that, you know, AAV to me would take a backseat. If they come with 4 years, 100 million, and say 80 million is guaranteed, then, you know, it's only 25 AAV. But you know what? That 80 million, that sounds real good to me. I don't care about the voidable years. I don't care about none of that. When I sign on that dotted line, I get that 80. That's cool. But if you telling me I'm asking for 60 million, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 years, but 60 million guaranteed, and they like, we already only trying to give you probably 50 million, you know what I'm saying, over 2 years. I don't think they go on 3 or 4 years, but even if they just say 3 years, 3 years, 75, they probably only trying to give you like 40 to 50. And that's, you know what I'm saying, maybe they're off 20 or 30 million, you know what I'm saying, just to guarantee. So to me, I don't know what's going to happen, who's going to have to, you know what I'm saying, humble themselves a little bit. To me, when you look at some of those older wide receiver, you know what I mean, you got a Godwin, you got a Mike Evans, you have, who else is an older receiver who's making some money, who might help him out was Tyreek. I think Tyreek is getting like $30 million, you know what I'm saying? But again, Tyreek has been a lot more productive than what, you know, he has been as well. You got Sutton signing his new deal. That probably doesn't help, you know what I'm saying, Terry's ass. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out, man. And then you got, you know, the young quarterback over there who, I'm not going to say he needs Terry, but I think he benefits from having a player of Terry's caliber, you know what I'm saying, in his arsenal. So we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. I definitely see it. If we're talking out of all 4 of them, I mean, I really just don't see them trading Terry. I think they'll just come to their senses with that. I think the one that could possibly be more tradable really would be Cook. I mean, that would be a hard hit for the Bills, but if they just do want to move on, I mean, he would definitely be an asset to somebody. So
how about this? How about James Cook for Terry McLaurin? How about that? With the you know what I'm saying? Get them a running back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen would be happy to have another wide receiver.
You know what I'm saying? Get Josh Allen to start running back, and they play Ray Davis and them enough anyway. They apparently they believe.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a tough conversation all the way around because these are essential pieces, like, you know, to us, but more than likely, you know, probably what goes into the team plans for a lot of these guys. So, I mean, this is what I kind of wanted to see it during the offseason. I wish it didn't ever happen this late. This should have started like in May or June, where it would have gave some good talking points. But I'm like, y'all always want to wait until right before the season to start acting up about these contracts. So, all right. So let's move on, because this is probably going to be one of those conversations where I'm going to yell out to say, I told y'all so. Okay. Let's talk about the Browns QB situation. Okay. Let's talk about that. So the Browns have Deshaun Watson. They have Flacco. They drafted somebody remind me from Oregon. What was his name?
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. And then you have Shedeur Sanders.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders were their draft picks this season. Joe Flacco, I'm still surprised that he has a job and he's still playing. And then we got Deshaun Watson, who is coming off of another Achilles injury after he already suffered one. So this situation is very crazy. I thought about it was crazy when they drafted both Dylan and Shedeur. So it was already kind of suspicious to me from the get-go. And then now is honestly seeing that even, reports are saying that Shador was never the owner's pick, never who they kind of wanted. He was kind of, just told about it. Now they're saying that they're barely getting him any reps. He's supposed to be starting in the preseason, but he's not really getting those reps in practice as well. So this is a whole show that's going on with the Browns. So J Mick, I'm gonna start since you are our AFC representative, coming from that side. What are your thoughts about that, and what are you kind of like hearing about that? Because I know y'all hearing about it, I know y'all talking about it, and I know you be in them spaces with some of the Browns fans.
I mean, caution beware when you be in the Brown spaces, man. Caution beware. But I mean, it's a bad situation. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for people. Like, they have too many. The problem is whenever you have this many quarterbacks going through training camp, like obviously, like you said, Joe Flacco. I mean, the man is aged pretty well, so he don't really need reps. Reps is not his real issue. So fine, cool, whatever. Deshaun Watson, I don't even know what the timeline is because they ain't really give anybody a timeline. But I mean, he ruptured his Achilles last year. Normally, that's a 12-month injury. So at best, he'd be ready around October, November at best. So I mean, those are the two veteran guys. Dylan Gabriel, I didn't like him at Oregon. I didn't like him. I think he was at OU before he was at Oregon. I didn't like him there. Drafting him in the third round to me was a reach. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, accuracy-wise, to me, he's not that accurate. So I don't even like him to begin with. So I mean, it leaves two guys. I mean, it leaves Shador Sanders, and then it leaves Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's already kind of shown you what he already had.
Forgot they had Kenny Pickett. Forgot they had shorthand Kenny. Look, that shows you how much I care about him.
So I mean, Kenny also got hurt in training camp. I think a week ago. He strained his hamstring, so he ain't been in the practice either. So it just leaves you with Shador. I think Shador. Other than I think Joe will be the starter, but I think Shador is their best option in case Joe gets hurt. And they haven't really, like, the other part about it is that Shador hasn't been getting first team reps, so they're throwing him into this game kind of all willy nilly because he didn't really have a lot of practice. So they're trying to see what they have in him. And I mean, if you watch ESPN or like NFL Network, a lot of people feel like they're throwing him to the wolves and like they're not putting him in a situation to succeed, which I can agree with because he hasn't really got that many first team reps. I mean, but this is a business. This is the NFL. You gotta prepare like you the starter. So he gotta go out there and show him something. And if he does, he's probably gonna move up that depth chart on the Browns. But to me, the whole situation with the Browns is a shit show because I don't think the offensive line is any better than it was last year. So I think whoever back there, if they're not mobile, they're probably gonna get killed. To be honest.
See him.
So it's a crazy situation. They drafted two quarterbacks in the mid to late rounds, as you mentioned earlier. You have Joe Flacco, and to me, Joe Flacco probably gives them the best chance to win. I've been hearing that they may be trying to tank for a Manning at the quarterback spot, but there's also no record of Mannings coming out early. So this might be a 2-year deal here. So when I look at that, I think Joe is kind of the starter, and everyone else is kind of playing for the backup position. As far as him going out there and starting today, I'm not going to, bitch and moan about it because we wanted him to get, some type of reps. We wanted him to get some type of shine out here, and he's been getting fourth string reps, if you will. And again, I don't know if they're going to be starting their starters, the Cleveland Browns. Maybe it's a situation where they're sitting their starters and he's going to be out there with the group of guys that he's normally out there with in practice. I don't know, but let's see what he can do, man. And it may be a situation where he's not as prepared as some other folks may be or may want him to be in this situation. But to me, he is vying to be a backup quarterback right now in this league. And sometimes you got to go cold turkey, man. Sometimes the starter goes down and you just got to get out there, put the clipboard down and go out there and play. So this is something he's been doing all his life. Hopefully he's been really really dived into the playbook. And he can go out there and use his eyes and make the reads and make the decisions that are necessary. And hopefully guys get open, but it's football, man. It's not always going to be fair. So let's see what he can do.
Let me ask this question. Do you think that the Browns are kind of like, I know they're throwing them out cold turkey, but do you think that this is kind of a way to, in a sense, either like tank him a little bit, like, give them a reason to possibly saying that this is why, or kind of in a sense possibly cut him down the line? Because basically what I'm asking are, do you think they're kind of setting him up for failure by approaching it this way rather than sitting over here thinking it through?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Me not knowing exactly, who's getting the snaps, who's getting the reps over there, and what's the situation, I don't know. I understand that they've had a couple of injuries of some sort over there, so I don't know if one or two of the guys are sitting because of injury. But again, though, I mean, after Joe, man, you can throw any of those guys out there. Dylan Gabriel, maybe they throw him out there. Maybe maybe we'll be saying the same thing, or maybe we wouldn't care as much because it's Dylan Gabriel versus, Shadur Sanders. So Kenny, Kenny Two Glove, you know what I mean? I'm wishing him the best, man. I want him to go out there and make some, and if there's some haters out there, make them into believers and go out there and put his best foot forward, man.
J-Mick?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I forgot to mention that like Shador was out a couple of days of practice. I think either late last week, early this week with shoulder soreness. Dylan Gabriel had the same shoulder soreness too. Like I think it was this week too. So he's been setting out a couple of days of practice as well. So it's like, I mean, it's kind of funny. Other than Joe Flacco, the old man in the room, everybody else been getting hurt. I mean, the oldest guy in the room ain't been getting hurt. The dude that's damn near 40 is not getting hurt, which is crazy if you think about it. Knock on wood. I mean, I'm not gonna wish I mean, like injury on anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a weird situation. I mean, it's kind of like what you said. Like I mean, like players in the past will tell you, you got to prepare like you gonna play, especially in the preseason. So you just gotta, I hope Shador been preparing like he gonna be the starter at some point. And if he's been, I mean, preparing and practicing like that, I mean, he should be okay. But if he hasn't, it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we all know who the Brown organization is, to be honest. We all know that they are, I don't want to call them incompetent, but they had struggles for years in that quarterback spot. So, I mean, I get it to over prepare for it, but in the same token, it's just like we know who you guys are. You're not playing, don't play in our face because we know what y'all are capable of. We know what y'all have done over the past, but it's just like if you're gonna play the man, give him the reps that he needs, prepare him, but get him set up for his life in the NFL. But again, I do agree that he's possibly playing for a backup position, as C. Henry always say, holding the clipboard. But again, if like we said, Flacco was getting up there. If this could possibly be his last season, he tried to go for one more. And if they don't want Deshaun Watson moving forward, or they just, kind of want to ease him on in, he's right there. So we'll just see. But again, we know who the Browns are. That's all I got to say. We know who they are. Can't play with us like that. Seriously. All right. So before we get on out of here, I want to know, we got the number one pick. I know we're already talking about 2026 draft before the even season kicks off. But we have a couple of teams this season who have been calling for that number one spot, all because they want Arch Manning. But Big Daddy Manning, the granddaddy, said, y'all don't expect him to come out until later on. He ain't coming out next year. So he will be probably more than likely playing his two more. Well, we're going into this season, one more year with Texas. So what are you guys thinking as far as who might have that number one spot at this point? Just we're doing preseason number one guesses right now because we don't know. We seen that the Houston could have had that and they ended up number 2. So let's see.
I mean, I'm gonna put my money on the Browns. Personally,
you gonna put your money on who?
The Cleveland Browns, because I mean, like we could say the same. I mean, like the Saints is like it's kind of like the overhanging fruit that you could just say because everybody in the Saints gonna be picking number one. But I do think the Saints are better than people are leading on. Their quarterback situation is not the best, but I do like the 2 tackles that they have. Like their offensive line should be pretty good. The defensive line should be all right. So I just think they're going to win too many games to be number one. I just think the Browns. I think at some point Flacco going to get hurt, and you don't have a good offensive line. You have an unsettled QB room. People are expecting the defense to be better, but I'm just not sure. Like linebacker wise, the best linebacker out for the season already. So I just don't know with the Browns. Like if their defense is not as good as it was the year they went to the playoffs, I mean, they could be looking at 3 or 4 wins.
So you think the Saints will probably be top 5? I'm sorry, Sihan.
I feel like the Saints will be in the top 5, top 6. Like I think the Saints will probably win 5 or 6 games. I think.
Go ahead, Sihan.
Those are my 2 choices, man. The Browns and the Saints, man. The Saints, I think they punted at the quarterback position with the Tyler Shaw guy, whoever his name is, and I think Spencer Rattler is probably going to be the starting quarterback over there. And they're going through a little bit of a transition, man. A little light defensively, having some. They're going to need some help on their offensive line. I just think they need some more weapons. You got to hope that Chris Olave stays healthy the whole season. So, with that being said, I think the Saints and the Browns are definitely in a race for that number 1 spot, whoever it may be.
Okay. I can definitely see it from both of y'all perspectives. I don't like them right now, so I would definitely say the Panthers, but that's just me. I'm biased right now because I don't like them. They irk my nerves right now. So, but yeah, I can definitely see that. I know a couple of Saints fans. They're not too optimistic, honestly, about this season. They don't have really any faith in the quarterback situation right now. They do like their draft that they picked up. Like you said, the 2 tackles that they got some good defensive players, even though Cameron Jordan needs to go sit down and go become a family man. So I don't know if they're going to probably change that and make him more of a rotational piece rather than a starter, an everyday starter. So we're going to see about that. And then, like I said, we just talked about the Browns when it comes down to their quarterback situation and kind of what they're looking like over there. So, again, it's going to be maybe it can be one or two, one of them. But I do agree the Saints, because I don't think the Saints are going to roll over for us. So we're more than likely going to split them. I don't think they're going to roll over on us like that and just let us sweep them this season. So that's that. Any NFC foe, like NFC South foe, I think they're going to go toe-to-toe with them. Anybody else on the outskirts or whatever, I think it's just going to be let it go. But I know for a fact that NFC South foe is probably where they're going to get some of their wins from with that. So that will be that. Browns. Yeah.
And I mean,
the defense is not terrible. The defense is not terrible. They get some quality play. Hey, watch out. What's the guy from Tennessee name? Dylan Sampson. It might be the Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson show. Dylan Sampson show, whoever it is.
Yeah, but the problem with Sampson was like they didn't even draft him to be the starting running back. They drafted Judkins, and the dude was, say, allegedly beating on his girlfriend, and they don't. And what I heard is that the team doesn't want to give him a contract until like the legal dispute is settled, because if they do, then the commissioner will put him on the commissioner exempt list, which means he ain't gonna play either.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's what you're dealing when you're talking about the Browns. That's what kind of luck the Browns have. Like
it's almost like, did you know something was up? Is that why you drafted 2 running backs, or did you genuinely like both guys?
They genuinely needed 2 running backs because Chubb, they didn't re-sign Chubb, and Chubb went to the Texans, and then the only other back they had on the roster was Jerome Ford, and Jerome not a 3-down back. Like to me, Jerome's a 3rd down back at best. So they actually needed 2 more running backs. And I mean, like Sampson, like people got their reservations on Sampson too. So I mean, like his speed is great, but I mean, there's certain things about his game that teams question, and I feel like that's why he slid to the 4th round. So, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
No, like I said, they're not fooling us. Don't play in our face. Y'all are not fooling us. We know who you are. We know we've seen it. We've seen it a million of times with the Browns. So again, we're definitely gonna see. I mean, it's almost football time. We're already got the first preseason games coming. After that, we got 2 more. Then the 53-man roster cut. So we're gonna find out who is on our team. And then again, I know we're gonna start rolling back this season for everybody. His top topics when it comes down to who you should pick up in fantasy. So we are going to roll that back out so y'all can start understanding who to be on the lookout for that. And then, college football week 0 is almost here. Okay. I know DT is not here right now, so I'm not going to say shout out to them Buckeyes because, I mean, my squad didn't have to win with a $20 million roster.
They a little tainted little championship, little 16-team championship. They won a battle royal.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. No, wait, Henry. It's their paid for championship. Because I mean, all of us that won, we didn't have to have a $20 million roster just to win. Like we were a little mini NFL team. So, shout out to Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. Hopefully y'all bounce back and can come over there and make it 5 years in a row. Let's go. And I say the best for last, J Mick. You already know I say the best for last.
Most certainly.
Yes, we are still the standard. We are still the team that everybody wants to be. We are still the team that everybody still wants to have in their mouth. So the Georgia Bulldogs.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Everybody love to hate. Like for some reason, they didn't win, but they just love to hate on us. They love to hate. I don't know. I mean, recruits. Is Tech, and they just trying to say we down in 6 feet under in the dirt. It's crazy.
Man, we all like a little.
Hold on.
Hold on now.
I mean, we don't get a recruit, and it's like the world, like like the Georgia house about to fall down or something. Like just because we don't get one recruit, it's crazy.
Hey, if you want to throw 2 million, 3 million bags at these kids who only gonna play for you for a season and then transfer because they don't like what your program's sitting on, didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? We as Georgia fans don't have a problem because our defense is still gonna be what it is. Offense still gonna be what it is. We're good. Oh, and just to let them know, y'all better be watching out because from what I've been hearing from practice, Zachariah is that man right now. Okay.
And he could be one of the ones. I mean, he could literally be one of them ones this year. So I mean,
I can't wait, man. Yeah, I cannot wait.
Thank God Xavier trusts off that football team. That's all I gotta say. Thank God.
Don't let the Marcus Smart get ran off like Nick Saban. Don't let that happen to him. You know what I'm saying? The well running dry down, and that's the SEC money getting a little dry, getting a little stale down there. It's drying up.
Now, to be honest with you, SEC money ain't getting stale.
I heard this global warming. I heard this southern warming going on down
there. We got plenty of money at Georgia, man.
We got plenty of money. It's just that Kirby don't feel the need to give one kid $1 million just to come play. And then what if you don't pan out? Now we stuck with a $1 million kid who don't pan out. Trust me, ask a lot of those who transfer.
Then Nick just threw his hands up and walked away. Just
but Nick is 72. You got to realize Nick was 70, going almost on 80 years old. Come on now, like you can't do that.
Yeah, and I want to say Kirby in his 50s though. Kirby's still young.
Kirby in his 50s. Okay, we've been saying that for a long time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's young.
He still got decades to be corrupt. He still got time.
Oh, corrupt. Hold on, we're not gonna talk about corrupt today. We gonna slide that one to the side.
You talk about corrupt.
What do you mean, man?
I know you don't want to go there.
It's evolution, baby.
I know you don't want to go there.
Take it to the next level. We evolution.
All right, y'all. Like you see, we are prepared. We are ready for the season. Stay connected with us. Follow us. You already know. Some of y'all already know who we be. Some of y'all already know how to find us and everything. So make sure y'all come back next Thursday. We're going to be tapping in. And like I said, it's going to be countdown to college football. So we're going to have a show that's going to be talking about that college football. We getting ready, baby. We getting ready. So we'll catch y'all next week. And shout out to DT. He couldn't be here today. Thought he was going to pop up, but shout out to our boy. He will be back here next week. And like on that, we out.